reverse, dooi could go 2-0.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost a map yet. It's clearly a... Okay, maybe my logic's breaking down a bit.
Don't you judge him and jinx him. Dooi versus psygib, we're getting into it. More round of 16 action right now. Corrupted keep, and we're going to start off on the Outlaw, and he's going to start off on Galena, throw down that totem, and grab that Mega with a little bit of 50 shards. Right off the bat, that standard fight over at the Rockets. Psygib hitting a little bit of damage here, but the machine gun coming out aggressively from Dooi here, just peppering damage.
Not doing too badly with it, actually. He has got the lightning gun now, but there's no range for it at the moment. Psygib, he might have to give this up in a second, but 9 health to go. Both of them so weak. And we're going to have the major items up soon. He's found his totem, so his health's not looking too bad. I think Psygib's going to fall back and say, let's prop ourselves up with a little armor, and then we'll get back to business.
Yeah, beating each other to a pulp right there, and Dewey's getting that totem stack. Economy going in the same spot. Overstack could be so deadly, and it looks like Psygib only saw one of them. Does delete it, which is huge. But we'll see if he can find the other one. As Dooi again getting stuck behind the statue. This is not a position you want to be in, fighting out of a corner like that. The LG comes out, the rocket out for Psygib, not the weapon you want in that scenario. He's going to grab a lower 50 as Dooi makes his way back to the Boneyard. He's going to grab this upper 50 into the Mega. From Psygib, a little bit of rocket damage, nothing too crazy, and pretty standard safe play here from Dooi, just as we thought.
He spent a minute and 15 pretty much not moving from either Boneyard or Mega. It's actually
he
admirable.
Doesn't have rockets.
Yeah, he hasn't got him yet. 66 health, though. He's got to be careful with the HP. Psygib trying to get rid of Totem, manages to do so. Shotgun hurting, but look at the machine gun. Both of them weak. Psygib going to escape from there. 2 health now for Dooi. He's surely going to have to get out a little bit and explore the rest of the map. Oh, no, he's going back over to Mega.
No, he's good. This is my home.
Got to get that HMG ammunition. His stack is looking very, very promising at the moment. And you can see that, as we were discussing at the beginning, Psy was trying to break that defensive barrier, but he's not been able to successfully do that yet. We maybe just have to wait for a rotation or so. We'll have to see. It's very interesting how Dewey's been able to kind of apply his strats from round limit to time limit actually so effectively in these early stages versus someone like Psygib.
It's almost like weighted training here. He's just going to grab these shards. He wants the totems back up as soon as possible. And the Mega has been all Dooi. Not afraid to stay on this side of the map. And Psygib, again, has to break through this defense because at a certain point, I feel like you just break down and you're like, I want to fight. This is Quake, I want to fight you.
Dooi.
And that's exactly what Dooi wants. It's like, yes, come fight me. Come find me. Look at all this machine gun damage coming out yet again. A little bit of rocket spam ensuring that Psygib doesn't push through the doorway. And business as usual for Dooi.
I still don't think he stepped out in the courtyard.
Oh, what a play.
Look at that lightning gun. Psygib so weak, he might have to find a way out, but that last rocket right at the end. Dooi will be alive and has some totems to fall back on.
Just that small hesitation for going for Mega. Ducked behind the wall. Psygib started making his move. The LG came out. Luckily for Psygib, he had dual rockets. One of them hit, but now the overstack for Dooi. Advantage to him as he's going to make his way onto the heavy, finally venturing out, but he's not going to get it in time. Instead, he's going to hit a decent rocket, but he's also going to take a decent rocket. Needs to be very careful now. There's the drop onto the Mega. A little bit of rocket splash for Psygib there. Just a little something, something. The dual wield comes out and absolutely melts him, and just like that, dual heavy machine guns tearing him apart. You
were mentioning that. There was so much of me hoping Psygib would go through the teleporter into 3 totems, but you know what?
You're a bad person for wishing that upon anybody.
I know, I feel terrible.
No, you don't.
But
it's okay. That's why we love you.
He's managed to get rid of those 3 totems straight away. That's a huge infrastructure from Dooi, just deleted off the map until he can rebuild it. Psygib's got some great control. This is very, very scary for Dooi.
And that's the problem when you stack totems in the same place. Once it's found, it's all gone at once instead of spreading them out throughout the map. But again, if you only stay on one side of the map, that's the easiest way to build the totem infrastructure here, as Psygib 1-0 lead right now, forcing Dooi down into the Boneyard, and that's going to be a huge rocket into Shotgun, into another one, as Dooi has no choice but to fly up the jump pad and eat buckshot.
Yeah, that's a whole lot to take. There's going to be the heavy. Mega health will go over to Dooi eventually. And now Psygib knows that there's probably some totems starting to get set up. That LG place is dangerous, but look at that dual wheel. Catches him up the bounce pad. Rocket's hurting. He's going to be able to get around the corner in time to land the shotgun blast. Well, that is devastating, the damage that he delivers.
Absolutely shredding Dooi. Great rockets, though. What a reply from Dooi.
That was like he snuck up behind him. psygib didn't really have a chance to react then. dooi now being a bit more aggressive. Haven't seen him go this fast for a while.
He's really turning up the heat here. A little bit of rocket spam from both players. dooi holding above Boneyard. Waiting for a little bit of a breeze. Whoa, getting a little bit of rocket spam in the face. psygib's going to go in. Dual wield popped. Here come the LGs. dooi doing a good job of getting away. Needs to be careful with the rocket. Decently placed rocket. A little bit of splash damage. dooi still really hurt. Needs to be careful. And just like that, heavy goes to psygib. Stack's looking good. To try and double back for this mega, and doooi's nowhere to be found, as he shouldn't be. He needs to get out of there. One totem for a little bit of health. But overall, he is at a disadvantage.
This is sketchy for him. There might have been a window of opportunity to get mega health, but it's way gone now. There's a light armor that he's staring down. psygib knows that he's kind of eyeing up those types of resources. And in fairness, doooi's got a little bit of time to play with, so he can plan his approach to getting back to the 100-100, and then has to think about, okay, how do I disrupt that timing that psygib has on the heavy armor, on the mega health, and get myself a few of those resources for myself.
Yeah, no real cause for concern yet for dooi. One frag could lead into 2 or 3, especially on a map as small as Corrupted Keep. Just need to be careful not to give up the advantage. There's a great rocket, the initial one landing, but the follow-up not. psygib punishing with LG. That's going to be 4-1. Looking to extend the lead even further here. The Enigma with a good start on map number 1.
psygib is scary with that gun, man. He is so in the zone at the moment. Rockets, though, working out for him. Good amount of damage, still armor left, but dooi, I think he rockets himself a tiny bit. Should have some totems nearby, but they might not be active at this stage. Goes over to the 225s. psygib cuts him off and makes it 5-1.
Just didn't really have a choice, a bit too predictable on the health that he needed. psygib read it perfectly, and he might even get another one here. dooi barely surviving, about 25 HP there. The machine gun not landing. The LG might. The totem goes down for a little bit of extra HP. Dual wield for a little bit of extra insurance, and he will get the frag 6-1. Doesn't even care that the heavy was stolen. It's 7 minutes with a 5 frag lead. psygib looking so strong. Oh my god, dooi ruined his life.
Can he ruin it anymore and build up some momentum with this? There's some time until the heavy's up, so he's got some moments where he can go fishing, see where psygib might be lurking. Hasn't run into him directly, but he's going to spot him there past the shotgun. There is a totem that he runs into. Not going to chase him over to Boneyard. Doesn't want him to get the turn on the major item. But in about 30 seconds, he's just got to go all out as much as possible. Rockets are so close. Totem on the floor. He'll do the damage with it, and there's going to be doooi's third. He is picking up the pace.
Never seen this before from dooi. He's going to catch him out in the elbow. Not a lot of damage, but he is going to deny the 50 shard here. And this could go quite streaky for dooi here. If he could just find a couple more frags.
I love the double denial here. This is making me pretty hot and bothered, if I'm honest.
Yeah, the double D get you hot and bothered. As 6-3, 8 minutes in, 2 minutes to try and make something happen. Was that an air rocket? Was that a little bit of splash? Doesn't matter either way. All the damage is important at this stage. Needs these 3 frags here. The stack on dooi is absolutely huge, and he's taking all of the resources away from psygib. Good rockets, though. psygib staying alive for the time being. And that's all he needs to do. He needs to hug the ropes for as long as he can. 3 frags away. dooi needs to go on the hunt.
Yeah, he absolutely has to. psygib's just managed to get himself a heavy, so doooi's overlooked that resource a little bit. He's going to find him just going through the teleporter, and that's the miss time. You don't want to see that if you're a dooi fan. We've got mega health at least that will be arriving, but he still has to push the boat out. There's going to be dual wield to deal with, but it's all about landing that first shot successfully and delivering from there. I think he just saw him around the corner. He knows exactly where he is.
And all these delays are going to add up. Still down 3 frags. Heavy goes to psygib again as doooi's trying to catch him out and surprise him. psygib more than happy to just stay in this tri-bolt area. In this fortified den of his. 1 minute left. dooi doesn't have a choice. He's got to push. And dooi on the flip side of the coin, he's the one in this position that's usually used to playing defensive. psygib taking a page out of his book saying, you have to chase me. Good luck. They meet in the middle. There's an air rocket. Another one, but psygib will get the best of him. And I think dooi knows that that might have been curtain call for this map.
Absolutely. He's given a great bash at it. psygib going to defend once again against the rocket as he makes that transition through the teleporter. That's 8 for psygib. Can he get any more before the time is up? As these 20 seconds, well, it's more than a miracle needed from dooi. Get into the mainframe. He's going to push via. Looks like he just wants to get into a bit of a fight. Because Dewey's combat skills are pretty good, but he shies away from it sometimes, doesn't he?
He is very much a player that likes to take the 99%
Yes.
battle. Like, I know I'm going to win this. Similar to Rafa and other players, but yeah, he's got the combat skills. It's not necessarily a lack of confidence. It's more just statistics to him. So, psygib, great first map for him. Dominant performance. And Dewey, the defense was good at first, but it started to crumble.
And there was just the one pivotal moment at the end where it looked like he lost the timing of the heavy. And I think that was really... I honestly think that he was playing brilliantly in control at the end, but then you needed that last little part of the formula to come into play for it all to connect and for that comeback to manifest itself. Otherwise, psygib was really solid. You could tell from the beginning, he just wanted to fight.
Yeah, and I really like the use of psygib's dual wield there on BJ. A lot of LG, some machine gun that we saw, heavy machine gun, just tearing him up, and then a little bit of shotgun as well, using any weapon he needs to. And it's so nice he used it twice. And look at that dual LG. He's like, take the armor, I'm going to frag you. That's fine, I don't care. But hey, Rocket, wow.
Yeah, he got there in the end. The Rockets were very wild in this fight, but you know when you get trapped between a totem and a hard place, it's rough. Doesn't bode well.
That's rough. I think it might just be a matter of the map being a little too small to play Dewey's favored defensive style, and it's not really Blood Run where there's kind of more corridors and stuff like that that you could pivot around. As we take a look at psygib's stats from the map.
Items I'm looking at the moment. Sorry to interrupt.
15 heavies.
I mean, that's the amount of focus that... I wouldn't even say it's the amount of focus that he had on the heavy. It's the amount of focus that, for a long time early on, Dewey didn't have on the heavy. It was all about holding. For about a quarter of the map, we saw him holding the mega
taking
place.
Mega, using the armor shards instead, and trying to deny LG and also have him come at him behind that. Usually, behind the statue is a death sentence. Somehow he made it work for about 3-4 minutes, but then he started having to branch out, and that's where psygib kind of took fights and started chipping away at him. I think Blood Covenant, the second map, is going to be more in line with what Dewey wants to do. There's more space. He could play a little more defensive depending on if he gets
runaway
the frag
rails
advantage. Runaway rails, hit and run, stuff like that. We might see a lot of that coming out of Dewey. Again, that only really works if he gets 1 or 2 frags up. If he starts playing from behind, that's going to be rough. And then psygib gave him a taste of his own medicine near the end there, and he's like, I could play defensive too.
Precisely. Well, guys, map 2's not far away as we are moving into it now. Can psygib get the 2-0? Are we going to get Dewey to go 1-for-1 and pick up a tiebreaker map? We are on psygib off the start.
Oh, wow.
It's just actually almost baits Dewey into using that Ghost Walk immediately, not following through on the orb. They will break away eventually for their major items, but an unconventional start we've just seen.
Yeah, very, very kind of awkward start there, forcing the Ghost Walk out. But well done to psygib. He had the LG. He almost could have floated her down, but 0-0. No harm done, just a little bit of aggression there. Good rail from Dewey. And I have a feeling we'll see a lot of that, just posting up, taking rail angles as best he can. Once he knows that psygib is weak, he's going to move in for the kill. There's a great return rail from psygib after a rocket jump from the rail area.
He's going to fall back onto the heavy. I think he was debating whether, do I go for light, then heavy? But, okay, I don't have the data enough on Dewey. These little drive-bys that we're getting from psygib are fantastic. Maybe missed an angle just there. His stack is in a precarious position. He's going to drop right in front of him, forces the Ghost Walk out. He has got the orb if he wants to escape. He's going to use it to get up into bridge and evades the line of sight of Dewey. He should be well set up for the next heavy armor, but that was pretty scary for just a couple of seconds.
Really good awareness, though, knowing, okay, I got Ghost Walk, or Ghost Walk popped, but I need to be very careful not to take damage after the fact. Uses the orb, doesn't try and save it, and he gets out of there without taking a lot of damage. And here comes a lot of damage for the LG into the rail. Both players very weak. Dewey going up the jump pad, trying to hit a preemptive rail. psygib not biting, not going through here. Needs to be very careful. 50 shard taken by Dewey. There's the orb up to nail. A little bit of tri-bolt, a little bit too late. Here comes the rocket, and Dewey playing on the aggressive gets the first frag, pushing him back.
That was really nice from Dewey, pushing past the tri-bolt angle. He knows that tri-bolt is good at that sort of, well, the range that it is. If you push into someone doing it, they're kind of left helpless until they switch weapon. Brilliantly picked up for Dewey. But psygib spawns, getting a light, getting a mega health. He needs to get himself weapons. Now he needs to get himself those resources all over again because of Dewey's fantastic railing.
And with Nyx, you can kind of traverse the top of the map to rail, to bridge so easily. There's another rail, and he's going to drop down. That can open him up for another one here. There comes the orb, and he's going to take it, but he's going to eat a lot of rockets. The swap to rail lands perfectly. Dooi ready for that when he says, again, take the item. That's fine. I'll take the frag.
And right again, as we saw with the first kill, psygib manages to spawn with the light armor, getting himself the mega health, and it's almost like rinse and repeat at this stage. He's going to follow up quite aggressively. Oh, the missed rail right at the end. I don't know if it would have quite secured the kill, but it would have been damn close.
But he had Ghost Walk. He didn't pop it. He got too confident in that. That's one frag to psygib.
I think he hinged on that rail landing and that being securing the kill.
I'm going to blame him.
It felt like it was written in stone for him, but psygib, he gets himself on the map a little bit with that single kill. He's still looking for one more to tie it up. Well, there's those bounce pads giving each of the players plenty of information to work on.
Ghost Walk is up, as is the Dire Orb. There's a little bit of tri-bolt damage. Dude's going to know exactly where he is. Opts for a heavy machine gun. Not quite secured the rail yet. Doesn't want to take any damage, and there it is. Even a little bit of a wall jump. Just because of the sheer paranoia of eating a preemptive rocket.
psygib's just gone and taken all the major items. He doesn't have the orb up. He's to find a way to force this out. This is great position. The trap there, 174 damage, looking for the rail. psygib's going to go back up. Missed shot from dooi, and he's going to use the Ghost Walk.
That was such a critical opportunity.
Yeah.
That was a free rail. Two beautiful rockets. Just can't hit the rail. After that, surely it would have been a shotgun or LG finish.
psygib actually going to push on this. He's got the orb. He should know the timing. He goes in really late on it. dooi uses the rockets, ends up taking himself out. I think that was this crazy misdirection from psygib. It looked like he was just baiting it and he wasn't going to go through it. But a really late play on the orb catches dooi by surprise. We're 1 for 1 now, thanks to the self-kill there from dooi. With a pseudo 2-2.
Getting closer to the halfway point here, psygib. Trying to find another frag to get comfortable here. Forces out the Ghost Walk almost immediately after that push with the LG. Looking for the rail angle. Not going to find it quite yet, but he is going to orb up potentially. There it is. Waits until the last second to use it. He's still going to eat some rocket damage as Dewey's like, 2 telegraphed, my friend. 2 telegraphed. Oh, lots of machine gun damage. Good lord.
Wow. psygib still had plenty of resources to check just then, so he's pushing in, but he might regret this. He's going to hit way too much shotgun, and dooi just keeps the machine gun out. psygib, you are in too deep there, my friend. dooi, he lost his lead temporarily, but just as quick as he got it, he's right back in the game. But he's having a bit of taste of that HMG himself as psygib ties it up again.
psygib's just like, this gun, this weapon right here, I got one of these too. 2-2, 515 on, in the orb. He's going to finish it with a heavy machine gun again.
I think he got some good orb damage in there too, just comboing it all together. And he's got the heavy now. This next minute of play for psygib looks like it could be really good. If he can get himself onto the mega health as well, game is suddenly becoming very difficult for dooi over the next minute and a half.
We might just see psygib slowly start to play in full defensive mode. I don't think he's the type to give up items too easily, but you might see him concede a little bit more and just opt for chip damage far away. There's the aggressive play from dooi as he just flies by, gets a lot of damage. Somehow psygib survives.
It's just because he had that movement going across and over the bridge. He couldn't keep it together.
Momentum was too fast.
For sure.
No brakes on this train, Zoot.
Well, that was a big attack from dooi. However, psygib still challenging hard on control. It's contested at the very least. And the heavy is going to be in sub 10 seconds. So I guess the 100 damage off before the Ghost Walk. I think dooi was trying to avoid that completely. Now the game's really difficult for dooi. You're trying to collect those smaller resources on the map, and you've got a essentially fully stacked psygib hunting after you. I like his decision to lock down the control first. It's a bit of an awkward timing because you've got to pay attention to the items, but you've also got to try and spend some time chasing your opponent, and managing that time is really hard to do.
psygib getting closer and closer to a 2-0 here. Could happen.
Could happen.
little bit of a miss jump there. Not going to cost him anything. A 3-2, 3 minutes in. There's the dire orb after the rocket jump. He's going to go in and force the ghost walk. Is he going to go up the jump pad? He is. There comes Dewey. Rockets come out. The Mega is taken, and what an air rocket. And psygib shakes his head like, nah, I can't believe that.
It was that timing from Dewey. He managed to get himself on the Mega Health. All of a sudden, he had the resources to work with. psygib's going to be slightly devastated by this, but it's about how he's got that mental fortitude. Can he resist any temptation to be hyper-aggressive now?
Needs to stay focused. Not a big deal. A tie ball game, plenty of time, especially on Blood Covenant. Just needs to try and focus up and play his game that he wants. Dewey can't get away with playing hyper defensive, but he can get away with hitting these rails. Almost hits the third one. psygib needs to escape. Very low on HP. And the angle from Dewey finds him right at that 50 shard. He's like, I know that you wanted to stack back up. 4-3, and now Dewey's in the driver's seat with Ghostwalk as well. 2 minutes left. This is all Dewey. There comes the dire orb. There comes the steal. Ghostwalk comes out, and what a play from psygib.
I'm amazed at how much damage he was able to do, and actually how little damage he eventually took on that. He had like his own rockets, he had Dewey rockets going, he had his orb there, he had everything. That was absolute chaos. A black hole of damage coming in.
I almost think it was one of those plays where just Dewey didn't expect it. He was like, no way you take that. And then he took it. He was like, oh my lord.
With his theme music going on in the background.
Exactly. Whoosh. Ghostwalk is up. 1:20 remaining. And now we see Dewey kind of go full defense here. Here's the jump pad. There's a rocket. There's a great rail. Is he going to peek for another one? psygib doubles back for the Mega, says I need this, and immediately gets hit with another rail.
psygib needs to be anticipating those. Dewey's been holding on to that angle, and this is where I think Dewey's going to come into his own, where he can play that defensive game. Oh my god, there's a little rail from psygib, and although Dewey's been delivering so many of them, with the control of that damage on a Nyx, that's very, very painful.
psygib going for the hunt here. 40 seconds left, down by 1. He doesn't have much of a choice. Dewey trying to escape again. The Outlaw on the run. And there's another great rail as the rocket jump comes out for the Mega and is punished. Dewey looks like he might be able to steal this one away. 30 seconds left. psygib needs to grab some weapons and just start pushing. The problem is Dewey has Ghostwalk just in case things go terribly wrong.
And Dewey's on the run too. He doesn't even want to use the Ghostwalk if he doesn't have to. It's just get out, get out. Don't be chased too hard. psygib's below. Don't need to face him if you don't want to. You've got that escape route ready for you, and he is fragging out anyway. That is 6-3. Dewey bringing us over to a tiebreaker map here in the round of 16. Very, very well played. Did that play that psygib made over at the pillars to get himself onto the Mega, I felt like it's like, now watch what I'm going to do. I felt like it was building in a theme tune. Yeah, that was very
record
tricky.
Scratch. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Great play by Dewey. It looked like it wasn't gonna happen, but I mean, look at that. That's just ballsy play is punished immediately, and he did it again later. Didn't get punished as hard, but that missed rail.
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt.
I get the feeling he was thinking about that for a few seconds after. You know, it's hard to just get yourself back in a game when you miss a chance like that.
It's like when you play baseball, sometimes you can hit like a curveball that's like 90 miles per hour, but when you play t-ball, you just miss and fall over and start crying. Has that ever happened to you? Just me? Okay. Well, it's like one of those. You miss the easy rails, but you can hit the flick rails.
A good American analogy for me to understand.
Yeah, it's similar to cricket, right?
I think it's pretty much the same.
There you go.
We're all good. We've got Vale. We've got Scale and Eisen coming into play, from what I remember.
Which, again, I think is a hard counter.
I just can't remember which way around it goes.
I think Eisen for Dewey.
I think you're. I want to say you're right.
Yeah, I'll just go all in on that. So we see the stats from Dewey on that one. 60% rail. Not a ton of items, but he didn't need them. Worked out.
That's a lot of nails as well, actually, to get up on your top 3.
Yeah,
that's a tremendous amount. And yeah, I mean, he was playing off them a lot. There was that defensive rail game that we were expecting from him. He was very strong with it. And, you know, when you're connecting the rails in those instances, it's a lot easier to build yourself those opportunities, even if you're not going for the items, because your opponent is under such tremendous pressure, and they have to keep scrambling for more and more resources. And there just aren't enough resources on the map for them to withstand all of that railing.
And eventually, the more you punish him, the more you just start playing, all right, I know exactly where you're going to go. I'm going to cut you off. You're obviously not going to go for one of the majors. I'll cut you off at one of the armor shards, maybe some health bubbles. But this is going to be at map number 3. Who is going to advance to the round of 12? Dooi versus psygib on Vale right now. Here we go.
We are on psygib to start with on scale. Excited to see what we can get, but the turret can be very upsetting for a scale bearer trying to bull rush. That's definitely one thing to look for the hard counters from Eisen when bull rush is being used.
An absolute speed bump. Great rail there, psygib.
Speed wall.
Speed gun. Wally gets taken out. A little bit of attempt there for damage. But the timing from psygib is fantastic. A little bit of tri-bolt action. Great rail again. Keeping Dooi low. psygib has such a fat armor stack. It is incredible. The Intergalactic Warlord's armor, very strong.
And he's ready. He is absolutely ready.
He's ready to lead the way.
But he's got to also be timing that ability from Dooi, because that can really destroy an opportunity for an innocent scale. And at the moment, it's just thinking about the items. He hasn't got himself onto the mega health. Dooi knows that he's staring right down at the item, and there's some very good spam from him. Gets rid of a little bit of that overstack. Love what I'm getting from Dooi, but it's sort of feeling each other out in this instance when everything is on the line for them in this single map.
Winner moves on, loser goes home. This is for all the marbles.
And how amazing would it be if Dooi manages to get himself another win coming in? He just comes out of, it'll be like what Cypher has been doing, getting himself into the QPL officially, now picking up even more points and accolades, going through the bracket.
Qualifying
could be a big
and
moment.
then starting to chew away at the bracket would be huge
Absolutely.
for Dooi, and that's exactly what he wants. Ooh, he's going to have to earn it. 2 minutes in, a little bit of machine gun damage on the cross through the Thunderdome there. psygib still playing a very patient game, does have the bull rush up. This might be where we see it. There's a little bit of LG. The turret goes down, and the rockets come out. There's the bull rush. He's going to miss 40 HP. He's going to grab a 25, and the armor's going to be up to Tribolt, almost taking him down 3 HP. Wow.
He actually survives. He doesn't get pushed by Dooi in that instance. Dooi missing a big opportunity for himself, but that is psygib still railable. He needs to get himself out of harm's way. There'll be a health bubble around the corner. Can breathe a small sigh of relief, but business continues here on Vale. And there's some rockets back in the tank for psygib, and full natural almost required if he wanted to go for that light armor. He's going to have to step away from it.
Oh no, the Wally popping off, and there's the push from Dooi as his tag team partner tags him up. Dooi finishes him off 1-0, about 3 minutes in. Great rail from psygib there. Almost hits another one. The return rocket from Dooi is brilliant, but he wants more. Almost gets that rail. Those are going to be the ones that are going to add up, especially against a scale. Oh, there's the bull rush.
Whoa.
Sends him to the heavens.
Got some distance on that one.
Turned him into a firework straight into the sky.
Pick up your air miles. It's time to go. He's going to drop back down. Oh, that's a huge rocket. Back through the teleporter looking for the vertical, but it's with the shotgun that he'll finish the job. 2-0 up for Dooi in this tiebreaker. And he's still got stack to work with.
Oh,
little missed jump, but that shouldn't be a big deal for him. He's still got the turret to put down. His nice little defensive block, but psygib has done an immense amount of damage. Dooi has to watch out a little bit.
Oh no! Oh! And that is the way the cookie crumbles. Get out of here. As psygib with brilliant LG and dodging on the Mega pushes him out the window and says, what? I didn't do that. What murder? What are you talking about?
Savage stuff. And here's the heavy. Gets up in time, but still takes a direct right after, leaving a little bit of that armor intact, but not a whole lot. Time on the clock for psygib to make amends of this. Oh, with the rocket to follow up, he's kind of just put him up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that slope saved his life. If he would have just dropped down earlier, he would have ate rocket. Dooi very fortunate there. psygib propelling him again towards the heavens. And there's another turret.
I mean, I think that's really good for psygib, just being able to take 2 turrets down like that. He knows there's no turret for a while. If he can have the right ammunition, he should go in for a fight in the next 10 to 15 seconds.
I think he might want bull rush first, and it looks like he's going to get it as he gets the time shards. Dooi won't have Wally up for another 20, and there is the Bull Rush instead. Gonna go through the Thunderdome, re-up on some rockets. Ooh, that prediction rockets. So
Dewey's been amazing with those, actually. He's been really, really good with his rockets. This heavy's going to be very hard to get. If you're psygib, lifted through the air, Dooi has to find his way through the teleporter, but he's pinned to the wall temporarily. psygib's going to back out of there. There's a lot of pressure on him then.
So risky to make that jump and then get pushed through the telly and then keep the momentum and do it again. psygib with great damage but can't punish. There's a great rail looking for another one. Dooi finally backs off. Still 2-1 Dooi in the lead here. Bull Rush is back up. Wally nowhere to be found. There's a little bit of nail damage as he goes through. psygib looking for the angle from underneath. He's going to grab the 50 shard. Could be round 2 with the LG here. Actually, free to move about the country is Dooi as he snags the heavy, makes his way back, waiting for the telly exit. There's some more LG as he jumps over for the mega. Very dangerous, but again, very lucrative as well, as now he has both items. Wally is down. psygib just looking for the perfect opportunity to try and get in here.
Yeah, he has time to play with, but that time is going to tick away so fast. Really, in the next minute and a half, I would like to see him committing to an idea of some sort, a plan. He has won himself the heavy, so maybe we'll see something a little sooner. He has got that upper position, connects with the Bull Rush. The turret is out. I think he might want to face on this. Oh, he gets the mutual somehow. Turret delivering so much for him.
psygib gets a decent spawn. He's going to grab LG, rockets, everything. And that's going to help. There's a little bit of a tickle. There's a good rocket around the corner, forcing him back behind him. And Dooi with great defensive rockets playing ring around the rosy.
Wow.
psygib getting more and more frustrated here. And a great rail as well to keep him out. And psygib can't believe that just happened, but he does have perfect timing on the heavy. That's okay. Plenty of time as well. What a great rocket. Going to go through the telly. And the LG is going to end him 3-3.
Game on at the moment. Mega health has just spawned. Both players have a couple of resources to work with. Oh, there is a sly rail on the sideline. He really wants this light to spawn. This is really very freaky. He has to move out of the way. Oh my god, somehow manages to avoid that rail shot. There will be heavy shortly. I think psygib wants to break away from this. He knows that he's offering up that major item. Do he chooses to go for it? And what does the future hold in the last 3 minutes of Veil?
Map number 3, last 3 minutes. Who will advance?
Oh, heavy's not taken by Dooi.
It's a gift. It's a gift to psygib. As I'm sure Dooi wants to try and break on through to the other side. psygib will move through the doors, making a lot of noise, but he does have the Bull Rush available just in case Dooi gets a little too close for comfort. 8 seconds until Wally. psygib going silent now, waiting for the telly exit.
It's a bit of a standoff at the moment. Missed rail.
Dooi set up all day for that. Not gonna hit. He's gonna get dropped on in the Thunderdome. Needs to be careful. He's already been ringed out once. He's gonna escape back through the Thunderdome. There's the rocket jump into LG. Dewey's gonna be hurt. Heavy is up. Is he gonna double back for it? No dice. He doesn't want to risk it, but he's extremely hurt, and now he's giving up the stack advantage. psygib looking to get this frag as time ticks away.
I love the way that psygib's played the items. I love how he's been chasing. Oh, he's going for shotgun, but there's so much damage that he's taking. 26 health left. He's not done enough to Dooi, who turns back in for the rail shot. There is the lead for him. No ammunition on your weapon, psygib. That's making life really, really difficult for you. Dewey's up around the heavy. If he can perpetuate this control, he is putting himself in a great position to get himself to the round of 12.
Minute 15, and this is Dewey's bread and butter here. He's going to eat a rail early, but he's up by a frag. He's got the stack, and he's got the turret. So there, he throws down the Wally, begging for psygib to make a move, and there's a good rail. There's a fantastic rail, pre-aiming the telly. 2 frags, 1 minute. Is Dooi going to move on? Is he going to make his mark on this bracket?
It is very possible at the moment. There's going to be a furious scale bearer prancing around the map. What can be done about this? Mega health's been taken by psygib. Heavy's not been taken, but he knows he just needs to get into the action at the moment. He's going to be diving down on him. There is a lot of aggression coming out. Dewey's slightly trapped. What kind of damage can he deliver? Seems scrambling to do as much as possible. psygib, it's a matter of time, and he eventually gets the kill. This last 30 seconds could be huge. And this time, psygib does have the weaponry, does have the stack.
And has the bull rush and has sights on Dooi. There's the LG. The bull rush will actually get canceled because of the wall. He needs to try and find this frag. Dooi trying to play defensive. The Rocket's too strong. 15 seconds left. And it looks like we might be going to sudden death as psygib ties it at 5.
Oh, gotta watch out for that. Is there gonna be any extra pressure? Down below, there's a rail shot coming out. 5 seconds until the heavy armor. Looks like we're gonna get overtime to decide who goes through to the round of 12. psygib somehow making it back in those last 45 seconds.
A little bit of rocket damage. Actually, rocket spam, no damage, so that won't give him the info, but the jump pad will. psygib playing so silently. Both players now extremely respectful. Mega's going to be next, and psygib has the position on it. Dooi trying to play out of sight, maybe get some trap rockets, maybe a rail. Try and get back in on this as psygib has the advantage. Look at that massive stack. Heavy's going to be next. Dooi needs to try and get some damage on this. Waiting from below.
Oh.
Hits good rail.
I mean, at this point, 40, just take your time. You've got the overtime for however long you want it, basically. And I think Dewey's hoping for an opportunity if psygib comes in close. There's a turret that he can put up. He can have that sort of blocking chance. psygib wants Dewey to put himself out in the open, make himself vulnerable. And I don't think Dewey's not going to fall for that. He's not going to make mistakes like this.
He's more than happy to play extremely patient. It's all a matter of who makes the mistake first, and it could cost him the tournament life. Is this going to be it? The rockets come out, the turret's down, and psygib's going to make the jump over. He's going to miss with the rail. Dooi won't miss with the rail. A little bit of turret damage from behind. psygib can't be bothered to deal with it as he makes his way through the telly. Mega's going to be up. Forces him through the telly. More rocket damage, 67 HP. Dooi on 50. He's going to drop down. Mega's going to be up in 4. There's the shotgun from up close! And psygib has done it.
Wow, what a way to finish that.
I think that was a shoulder bump into shotgun to end it and send him into round of 12. Wow, look at that. psygib, a sigh of relief right there. Dewey's got to be a little bit heartbroken by that, but he played so well.
What a series, man, like, from both of them. Dewey was fantastic. We saw a much more dynamic play from him than